Hello everybody, so today, firstly before we get going in the video, something we need to say. This is our first video since we passed 11,000 subscribers. So thank you very much to everybody who has subscribed already. And if you haven't done so, now would be a good time. You know, we've got to keep on growing. Also just a quick mention right at the start, if you want to buy a mug, Cow Farmer Dan mug, or logo mug, or Vintage Thursday mug, full details in the description box down below. So, right, let's get on. So, today's video. If you watched the video probably 5-6 weeks ago now, when we brought home our heifers, you can see we're in the pen with our heifers today. So during that video, we said this. When they're old enough, they're not quite there yet, but when the heifers are old enough, the dairy heifers, we're going to synchronise those, and which means they will all come bulling together, and we can serve them all together, and then as many as go in calf to those services, we will then obviously be calving in a big bunch next year. Well, now plans have changed. So briefly, we were going to synchronise them. So what is synchronising? So basically that means the vet would come in, he would give a hormone injection into each heifer, and then a set number of days later they get another injection, and following the second injection there is you timed AI regardless of activity. So if you don't see them bulling, you serve them anyway on the allotted time, and providing it's all gone to plan, and they recommend for best results split 2 AI 12 hours apart, and they say that should give you 60% conception rates, which is pretty good. We've decided against going for that route. Number of reasons. We've got 41 heifers this year, not in this pen, but they're split between 2 pens, but 41 heifers in total. For me, to AI 41 heifers in one day is just impossible. You cannot do it. You would need to bring in help. One person can't AI that many in a bunch. Secondly, assuming we got 60% conception, which we should do with heifers, in 9 months' time, potentially we could have 25-6 heifers calving over maybe 3 or 4 days, which we don't really want that either. You try putting 26 fresh heifers in a parlour in one go, over a few days. That's a recipe for disaster. So what we've decided to do, you'll probably guess from the title of the video, we've got a nice model. Modelling. There we are. There's one down there. So what we've done, we have purchased a system called Sensehub from Allflex. So what that is, that's basically an activity monitor. You can see they've got the collars on with the little blue and black bump on the collar. That is the bit that's doing the work. So what that's doing, there's various levels of information that will give you. We have gone very basic, lowest level you can get, which is just basic activity monitor. It monitors the rumination, activity and feeding. And it combines with some clever magic to tell us when a heifer is bulling. So we'll go and take a closer look at a collar, because I don't think anybody's going to stand still enough. If they do, we'll have a go. No, right, let's go find a collar, have a proper look at one. Okay, so here we have a not yet fitted collar. So this is the actual magic bit. That's the bit that does all the work. So this needs to be fitted to the left side of the cow. Then we just got the buckle, and here this is just a weight to make sure that the collar stays in the same, keeps it at the bottom. So there's 2 options for the actual technology part, if you like. You can have it as an ear tag, or we went for the collars. Initially we were going to go ear tags, but in our system we envisage this being more mobile than probably a lot of people use it for. And what we plan to do, we've got it on the heifers now. So we bought 50 collars, and like I said, we've got 41 heifers. Leaves us 9 collars spare. So what we're going to do, so what we've done, we have put the spare 9 onto some cows. Okay, so we have, I think it was 5 cows we've left from the spring. They calved in the spring. We didn't want to serve them until now because we need to maintain our calving gap. So what we've done, we carried those over empty over the summer, and they have got collars on. And we also put to use up the few remaining ones on just some early calvers from this year. So I've got a little bit of footage of when we put those collars on, and I'll stick that in now. So what you'll see us doing to link the collar, or this part, to the cow, what we do, you can scan it on your phone. If your phone has got this fancy, I didn't know it was in there, this thingy, you turn it on and it will read the number assigned to this collar. Okay, so what you see us doing, we link the collar to the cow via the app on the phone, and then we put the collar on, making sure the transmitter measuring device thingy is on the left hand side of the cow, kind of level with her ear. And then you just do the buckle up, keep the weight at the bottom, and she goes off and she shakes her head for a little bit because, you know, it's all a bit strange. So the reason we chose the collars over the ear tags, because what we're planning to do is, once all the heifers are in calf and the vet has been PD'd them, and we can then take the collars off, put them onto cows, getting later in the winter by that point. So we took the decision not to go a collar for every cow, because at this time of year, when they're all housed, we don't have any issues heat detection within the cows. We're in and out of the cows all day. We just do it manually, if you like, just by visually checking for bulling. But maybe later on in the season, or when they are out grazing, you quite often, the vet will come in and we're doing PD sessions and we say this cow's not presented as bulling yet, and he will check with his scanner and say, well, she's cycling, obviously giving us silent heats that we're not picking up. So hopefully later in the season these will pick up those heats and should result in more pregnancies. So that is why we went for collars rather than ear tags, so that we can move them about a bit easier, rather than cutting tags out. You can get replaceable, the actual pin part of the tag is replaceable. Obviously you cut that to remove it from a cow and move it around. It's just easier, less stressful to take a collar off and refit it to a different animal. Now these collars, obviously there is a little concern potentially of a cow getting the collar tangled in something and getting stuck. The coloured section of the collar with the holes in is, I want to say it's weaker. It's not as strong as the black part. The coloured part where the holes are will tear should a cow tangle up. So obviously the pin will tear through the hole and it will just, tear up through there, and she will free herself. So, there's no worries about her getting tangled up on stuff. So they tell us. We'll never find out, but that's what they tell us anyway. So we've got a bit of footage of putting it on the cows. I will put that in now. It's a little bit dark and a little bit noisy, so there is no narration on it. I'll probably speed it up. We'll put one on in real time. Probably just speed it up so you can see what we were doing. But what you'll do is you'll see, so reading the collar with the phone, linking it to to the cow, and then it's all internet based. So these collars are transmitting back to a receiver that is connected to our internet connection in the house. There is a receiver on a pole, and these things are talking to it, sending back the information. So they say it takes about 7 to 10 days for these readers, for these transponders to calibrate themselves to the cow's behaviour. The system was installed on Monday. We put the collars on the heifers on Monday, and we did that on the cows on Tuesday morning after milking. So what we can show you, so we can't show you any proper activity yet, but we have got now, I've waited till now to record the video, so we've got a few days worth of data. We'll just wait for it to wake up. I don't know if it's picking that up. We'll just wait for it to get there. Not got the best signal here, but we're getting there. So we will type in an animal's number. I know there's a heifer called 1921. Well, that's 22. Let's click there. Right, so we've got a heifer 1922. So we're just bringing her up. Wait for it to get there. Okay, we'll press this bit, and then we will get a graph come up. Okay, so here is our activity graph. Now this is, because we've only got a few days so far, this is zoomed in quite close. So you can see we put the collars on, and then what we've got. So the yellow section is activity. So you can see she's pretty stable. She's not bulling with a lot of activity. The green line is eating. So obviously you can see she's eating on and off. The purple is rumination. And then will be a blue line, I imagine, when she's in heat. Because at this stage we're not yet 7 days in, it hasn't calibrated itself to pick up any heat yet. So there's no purple line. But what happens, what they tell us happens, so you saw the activity line kind of flatlining, and the rumination was going with her feeding pattern. What they tell us happens is, as she comes bulling, her activity spikes up and her rumination drops off. And then once those two lines have passed their peak and kind of returning back to normal, that is when the system decides that heat has started, and it counts down a time and then gives us the optimal time for AI once she's in the right kind of zone. Obviously, like I said, we haven't got there yet. So in the future, what we will do is, when we get a cow bull in, we will do a video of showing the activity monitor of what it's showing us, because at the minute I don't know, I can't tell you that yet. We haven't got there. But there will be a video coming up of taking the information from the app and using it to AI, and we'll do an AI video, and then hopefully again in the future we can do a PD in video to see the whole system through. So there we go. That's as much as I can tell you at the moment about the system. Like I say, we are 4 or 5 days into having the collars on. They're not quite calibrated themselves yet, so come back in the future. We will do a video when they're actually in operation, but I just wanted to get this out now to tell you what we're up to. The synchronizing, we didn't do it, so that's hopefully explained a little bit the reasons why we changed our mind and went down this road. So if you haven't subscribed, don't forget to do so, and then you will get a notification in the future of when we do an AI video taking information from this system. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.